This is the 2019 Nissan Terra VL 4x4. It is the most expensive variant of the Terra. Is it worth its 2.1 million peso price tag? Let's find out. I think the looks of the Terra are better appreciated in person. It has a presence to it. It looks big and it looks squarish, kind of like a small Nissan Patrol. The highlights are the massive fenders. It's almost as if the vehicle was designed around the fenders, like they designed the fenders first and then added the rest of the vehicle as an afterthought. The hood, the window line, and the doors warp around the massive fenders. The vehicle has short overhangs, which improve the approach and the departure angles, and they also make the Terra look more masculine. The front looks pretty simple and pretty angular looking. It mostly has straight lines. Because of the fender bulges, the hood looks like it's concave at the middle. The lines converge at the center, and at the center is Nissan's V-Motion grille. The projector headlights also have a pretty angular design. They look especially good with the daytime running lights on. At the back, it has LED taillights, which are best appreciated at night. They have an upswept design. Everything at the back looks as angular as the front. The Terra badge is displayed in big bold letters. Overall, the design is pretty cohesive. It is not as out there as the Montero, but it's not as conservative as the Fortuner either. It lies somewhere in between. The interior of the Terra is a bit of a mixed bag. The seats and the door sidings look pretty upmarket. They're covered in stitched brown leather, and the contrast between the brown, the black, and the chrome trims give it a pretty luxurious look. The dashboard, though, looks a bit dated and bland. The Terra shares the same dashboard with the Navara, and like the Navara, the Terra's dashboard is also all plastic. You don't get leather or wood trims like on the Fortuner V. There's not enough detail to look at. It looks like it was molded from a single chunk of plastic. But like I said, aside from the dashboard, the rest of the interior looks pretty nice. One nice feature is that you can fold the second row seats with a flick of a switch. The steering wheel is covered in leather. I wish it was a bit thicker though. It is pretty thin and it feels a bit too firm. It has a 7-inch infotainment display with Apple CarPlay. It also has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB, and aux. It has a 6-speaker audio system. It has dual-zone climate control. At the front, you have two 12-volt outlets and two USB ports. The Terra has a smart rear view mirror. You can use it to view the Terra's many cameras. There is also a top-down view. And with a quick flip of a switch, you can use it as a conventional mirror. The second row is a nice place to be. The second row passengers have a roof-mounted 10-inch display. There are multiple air vents, 2 on the roof and 2 at the front. The aircon controls are also roof mounted. The seats are also covered in leather, but they don't have a lot of bolstering. One major disappointment is that there are no 12-volt outlets or USB ports for the second row passengers. It should be expected that the third row seats of any midsize SUV should be for smaller adults and children, but the third row of the Terra is particularly difficult to sit in because the flooring is a bit too high and it's not even. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but there's a hump where my foot should be, and I can't get both of my feet flat on the flooring. Another disappointment is that there is no power tailgate. The top spec Fortuner and the Everest come with power tailgates. The Terra is powered by a 2.5-liter diesel engine. It produces 190 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque. That's more power than the Fortuner 2.8, but less power than the Everest 3.2. It has a real-time shift 4-wheel drive system. You also get a differential lock. It has independent suspension at the front and a solid rear axle at the back. It has disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the back. The suspension of the Terra seems to be on the soft side. The good thing about that is that ride quality is pretty good. The downside is that it rides a bit like a boat on a tight island like this. The body roll was pretty excessive, as you can probably tell in the video. That sharp turn was just done at 25 kph, and it felt like the vehicle was gonna topple over. Steering is still hydraulic, so it's a bit stiffer than the steering of the Everest. The Terra has Nissan's Intelligent Mobility System, which is a collection of technologies aimed at increasing safety. There's lane departure warning, which automatically warns the driver if he is veering off his lane. It will only give an audible warning. It will not steer the vehicle by itself. There's also blind spot warning, which alerts the driver if there's a vehicle in his blind spot. It has a 360 camera, which allows you to see everything around the vehicle. It is particularly helpful when you have to park or navigate in tight spots. It also has front and rear sensors. It has intelligent forward collision warning. The Nissan representative said that it doesn't have automated braking though. It only warns the driver of an impending collision, but it will not automatically apply the brakes. If you don't need 4x4, you can save yourself a lot of money by just going for the 4x2 Terra VL, because it's exactly the same vehicle sans the 4x4. And it's almost 200,000 pesos cheaper. In terms of features, I'd rank the Terra somewhere in the middle of the pack. Not as high-tech as the Everest Titanium Premium, but not as bare bones as the Fortuner. The pricing is also somewhere in between. It's not as expensive as the Everest Titanium Premium, but not as cheap as the Chevrolet Z71. The Nissan Terra VL 4x4 has plenty of tech features. It has good active and passive safety features. It looks good. It's priced relatively well. I still think that the Everest Titanium Premium is the best SUV in this segment, but if you're looking for a Japanese SUV, I think the Terra is ahead of the competition.